Hello and welcome to the Bel-E Scratch Podcast. I'm your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, my quads hurt. Like, they really hurt. And I think I know what happened.
You took a left when you should have taken a right.
Somewhat. Yesterday, since it was, kind of a pseudo slacker day at work.
Yeah.
Because, thankfully I have a job where we can do that.
Yeah, you have a job. J-O-B, job.
Yeah, being essential is amazing.
It is, it's a little different.
Yeah, it really is. I don't say that as like a badge of honor or like a pride. I'm just, everybody is
grateful.
I'm grateful, but at the same time, it's like, oh, come on, man. I don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well, there's a lot of people that aren't going outside, but,
there's still a lot of people that aren't going outside.
Well,
like not at all after all these months. And it's like, hey, but guys, are you okay? Can someone check on them? Are they still on this plane?
Yeah, really. I don't know what the support system they have, but it's a difficult time for everybody right now.
Yeah, this year sucks.
Yeah, this year sucks.
For everybody. But anyway.
Yeah. But it's, it's my year.
I mean, here's the I guess the one upside of this year 2020, like the one upside. How about this?
Ooh.
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
This year sucked for everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody. In my opinion, even the super rich. Well, with the exception of the people who are so wealthy that you don't even know who they are.
Right.
But still, people in like big name corporations, they still have to contend with the fact that a lot of their workforce can't work. And if they do work, they'll just spread the contagion amongst them.
It's definitely had an exquisite effect on the bottom line.
Yeah. I mean, so from that perspective, they're still having a really bad year. So this has been pretty equalizing, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the one upside of 2020. I will tell you, dear listeners. It can only go up from there.
Yeah.
Think about it. What's going to happen to top this? Seriously, what's going to happen?
Pretty much.
Like, what's going to happen? Like, you can only go up from here.
Yeah.
This has to be the bottom. This has to be rock bottom. And if this is not rock bottom, there's not much lower it can go.
Yeah, even if a couple of superpowers got into a conventional ground war,
which is practically unheard of nowadays,
you would still be sequestered pretty much into your home. And essential is essential, so yeah. You would still be able to operate, but if you don't have an essential job, man, you don't have a job.
Which is still weird.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's tough.
So, not to detract from the harrowing experience we are all living in.
Absolutely.
But back yesterday, my boss, he brought in his VR rig. It's an Oculus. Because there's like multiple brands of VR rigs, virtual reality rigs, excuse me. He apparently got the game Super Hot, which is fun. Which I know you know nothing about.
Absolutely nothing.
You basically put the face on and you hold in the joysticks or whatever you want to call them.
Hot is an adjective.
Yes. And the game is basically okay. And the game is basically the enemies are trying to shoot you, but they can only move when you move. So when you move, they start to move too, and they're trying to shoot at you. And you gotta dodge the bullets, dodge what they throw at you, and you gotta punch them, throw a knife at them, throw stuff at them, shoot them, knife them.
Dodge, duck, dive, and dodge.
Yes. And that's kind of why my quads hurt, because I'm like matrixing it, where I'm just ducking underneath
Wait a minute.
The bullet trails. And I'm like, hey, that looks kind of cool.
Are you saying that your quads are sore because of some VR rig thing you got involved in?
Yes. There is no other explanation.
All right.
Because this isn't a muscle group I use in dance. I don't use the quads when I dance. It's the hip flexors, the obliques, and the glutes. That's it.
Yeah.
So, no.
VR rig. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. Sooner or later, VR is not only going to become the new job at the new school, it's probably going to become the new exercise program.
I wonder how far that's going to go with workers' compensation reimbursement.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Like, if you get injured inside your own VR rig, do you get paid for it? Like, do you get workers' comp if you get injured inside your own home, but you're still on the job?
I mean, I guess if you're like somebody employed by the gaming industry to test out a game.
Well, that'd be one thing, but
it's company insurance.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's one thing, but it's kind of like make sure that thing's working. The movie Ready Player One, which a lot of people don't like for some reason. I liked it. A little pandering. A lot of pandering. Let's face it.
Maybe they didn't like it because it was suggestion that if they used the VR rig, it was going to give them a sore ass.
I don't know.
You got sore legs?
Yeah, I got sore legs. That's because this is not the type of game where you can sit down and wait. I mean, you could, theoretically, but I didn't.
Get off the couch, people.
Yeah, I got off the couch. So, the thing in Ready Player One, it's one of my favorite movies, not the favorite movie, but my favorite thing about it is it shows the future of technology. Now, the future of the world itself is debatable, but the type of VR technology that could potentially exist, that is my favorite part of that whole movie.
Yeah, that was, it seemed very accessible.
Oh, yeah. Granted, it was kind of pandering to, that 80s nostalgia crowd, the nerds.
There was a lot of that.
Which, to be fair, this is basically it's like an idealized version of the internet. And what I mean by idealized is there was no anime chicks, there was no, thirst traps, nothing like that. You didn't, in Ready Player One, you didn't see anyone from 4chan. That's how you know that movie is very idealized, is because those types of guys were not in that movie, therefore didn't exist, and it's just like, if hypothetically today the VR technology in Ready Player One was available in every single household across the globe, oh no, oh dear God, no. Oh, it would be horrifying.
What if your bank account would determine how difficult it would be to pay a utility bill? Like if you had to fight your way through a river full of alligators.
What a pitfall your way to work? Damn, that's an old game.
Somebody can do it.
Oh yeah, but no, I always my whole thing with Ready Player One was just the technology and the people who, yes, the acting is questionable to a degree. It panders, whatever.
A little
bit. The other thing that
the graphics were pretty good.
The visuals looked awesome. But I also just have a lot of lore questions about that world. I'm just like. Yeah, some of it is further explained inside the book, which I read after the movie because I knew better.
I wonder if each character got paid based on how much screen time they had.
I've wondered that myself, because I don't know if I mentioned this on the air before, but I remember reading Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
There was the primary way that movie could get away with all of those copyrighted characters was they struck a deal between Warner and Disney, whereas basically each character of the respective brands they would permit them to be in the movie, but only if they had like the same amount of screen time. Yeah,
and there was a lot of different brands in Ready Player One.
Maybe some of them, they had a similar agreement. Some of them were being like, "Yeah, market our products." Maybe it was.
No, I'm sure there was. I'm sure there was some old nostalgia. I mean, if you're going to create an army.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Spoiler alert for Ready Player One.
You're definitely going to dip into characters that are less popular. Yeah. I mean, there is a tier.
Oh yeah.
Of who everybody likes more. It doesn't mean they don't like number 10. There's just one that they like more. That's all.
Oh yeah, it's just personal preference.
And there was a bunch of that in Ready Player One. A lot of different brands, a lot of different characters.
Oh yeah, that movie is just lined like frame by frame with Easter eggs, which that's kind of the whole point. That's kind of basically the plot of the movie is to find the Easter egg and you win. I remember seeing characters. I remember seeing Duke Nukem, Freddy Krueger, Tracer from Overwatch, the Ninja Turtles, Master Chiefs, like plural. Yeah, I will say this, at the very end of the movie, this is like one of my primary great gripes with this movie.
Great gripes.
Well, it's more of a nitpick, really.
Great gripes.
Okay, the final battle. Okay, you remember?
Right.
It was on that frozen planet.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, when it's basically the player base of the Oasis, the VR network.
I just remember these lines and lines of charging humanity.
Yeah. If there is one thing that I felt could have improved that battle, just at least on an aesthetic level. You know what that battle needed on that frozen planet assaulting that final castle?
No.
Imperial walkers.
Imperial walkers.
Think about it. If you've seen this movie, you see the end.
Was there any other Star Wars reference in the movie?
Not really.
Well, we mean not really. Yes or no?
I don't remember any.
I don't either, now that you mention it. So
that might have been it. They probably didn't get Disney on it. That might have been part of it.
Yeah.
But then again, Disney has reached the point where I don't want to say they're too big to fail, because at some point it's going to run out.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to do it. I don't know if it's going to be a slow fade or a huge bang.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
No, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I agree with you 100% about that. It will not be anytime soon. But something is going to break Disney's back. I don't know what it's going to be.
Now that they've
Mulan definitely, the remake of Mulan definitely put a huge dent in them.
I've definitely heard some not so nice things said about Mulan.
Seriously,
from people on the street, but
seriously, like how? Like I get that China is now Disney's primary audience because money, which
I mean it's an opening. It is people.
Yes.
An emerging market.
Yeah.
And what that means is that the people in this country, North America, Disney probably has an impact on 90%
yes.
of the people right now. Because of the infrastructure that has been created and facilitated by Silicon Valley. Now, in China, they're probably, I don't know, I guess a decent estimation might be 20% of their entire population, because
give or take.
There's probably 80% of their population is rural.
Which is weird.
Well, no. I mean, because there's a billion of them. There's only 350 million in this country.
No, I just find that part odd because China is classified as a global superpower, and yet a staggering amount of their populace is still in rural areas.
Well, it's just like India. I mean, India is definitely the country that is leading the tech future. And, they're in the same situation, based on their infrastructure in their country. I would say not anything to argue, but just a decent guesstimation would be 20% as well. Mm-hmm. And there's 1 billion people. And there's only 350 million people in North America. Ish. Probably another...
Give or take a couple decimals.
Yeah.
Don't forget
probably another 30 or 40 million for North America's hat.
Hey, don't talk about Wayne now.
I like Wayne. Yeah, he squints like Clint Eastwood. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what his eyes... I don't know what his eye color is. Blue?
The whole squinting eye thing.
Yeah, that Wayne does on Letterkenny.
You can look it up. It is a fact. It is a... possible characteristics of a high testosterone level.
That would explain it.
Wayne's character in Letterkenny, great show.
Oh, holy crap!
Holy crap! It's a great show.
It has definitely upped my chirping game.
Yes, and. The squinted eyes is a physical characteristic of an increased or a higher than normal testosterone level. Yes,
that would explain why Wayne is the toughest guy in Letterkenny.
Exactly. See,
you know what I want to see, even though it's never going to happen. Like never. All right, you like Letterkenny?
I do.
Another one of your favorite shows is Still Game.
Yeah.
I want.
They're. Geographically, they're not that far apart.
Not quite, but no. Here's the thing.
One of the episodes, they've already visited Canada once from Still Game.
Really?
Yes.
I thought that. Never mind. Okay, I didn't know that.
Shorter, pudgier fellow, Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
His daughter and her husband and children live in Canada.
I didn't. Okay, well, I'm not
somewhere near Niagara Falls.
I'm not an active viewer of Still Game quite yet. Right. I'm working on it.
Probably a generational thing.
You know what I want to see?
What's that?
Okay, Riley and Jonesy, how they're like the primary chirpers.
Couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley.
Sure.
I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see Riley and Jonesy, who are just great chirpers. I want them to go up against Jack and Victor, just slinging insults at each other. Canadian hockey players versus these old Scotsmen.
That would definitely being hockey players. That would definitely even the playing field.
Yeah. More like the ice field.
Level the rink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, sooner or later.
Yeah, just put them in the same room and just let them roast each other.
It's kind of like this. What's better, a 5-year experienced hockey player or a 10-year experienced hockey player? That's kind of self-evident. You really don't have to. I mean, it's not true 100% of the time, but 90+% of the time, it's probably true.
Oh yeah.
So you got these old guys in Still Game that have been chirping for decades
since they could talk because they're Scottish.
Jonesy and Riley.
Heck, you get Shorzy in there too.
They got maybe 15 years max, 20, 10 probable.
Yeah. Heck, you get Shorzy in there too. It'd be really...
Shorzy.
Yeah, Shorzy. But here's the thing. If Riley and Jonesy could go against Jack and Victor, who would Shorzy be an equal to on Still Game? Who do you think could be able to handle him?
The only person on Still Game that could handle Shorzy, from what I've seen, primarily would be Jack. Now, every now and then, when Winston gets upset...
Oh, I forgot about Winston.
Yeah, when Winston gets upset, there's some things that pour out of him. that seemed at times to be on another level. So, so if he was stimulated specifically, he probably could. I don't know if he could take Shorzy. Shorzy's tough.
Yeah,
that's some stuff, man. That's Shorzy says stuff that everybody thinks but nobody says. Because that's an automatic fisticuff right there.
Yeah, he says stuff that Shorzy says stuff that you just want to just freaking kill him.
Yeah, you're not thinking of a snazzy comeback. You're thinking
about killing him.
What part of him am I going to slam my fist into first?
I will tell you this: my number one most favorite Shorzy insult from Letterkenny, mind you, from Shorzy.
I certainly hope so. It's from Letterkenny.
Oh yeah. And here's the thing: the reason this is my favorite is because this is something that I could personally use in real life.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Because a lot of what Shorzy does, it's very specific to Riley and Jonesy or somebody else.
Because it's hockey.
And
they're Canadian.
But my number one favorite insult from Shorzy.
Sorry about that.
Chill out, they're fine.
Yeah.
My number one favorite insult from Shorzy is it's I think in season 8. And it was like the Letterkenny Irish and the Letterkenny Shamrockettes. It was like the women's hockey. And you remember?
Yes, I did.
It's the women's hockey team and the guys' hockey team. And they're basically doing kind of a girls versus guys because the coach is an embarrassing.
Yeah.
And Shorzy is just destroying the girls' hockey team because he's Shorzy.
Because he's Shorzy.
Yes, you don't. Yeah, Shorzy is Shorzy. That's how you explain who that guy is.
Exactly.
And oh my God, it's this made me almost pee myself when this exchange happened. Shorzy is skating next to one of the lady hockey players, and he goes, "Hey, you skate pretty good for a girl." And she goes, "I am a girl." He goes, "No, you're not." "Wait, are you really?" She looks at him like pissed off, and he goes, "Holy fuck." And I'm like, I can use that.
So his initiation of the conversation was to infer that you are a guy, but you are skating like a girl. So
and then
he realizes, hey,
that is a girl.
That is a girl.
And I'm like, I can totally steal that.
Well, that's great dynamics of the exchange. Absolutely.
All right. So if there was like a roast matchup between Riley, Jonesy, and Shorzy, the most optimum counter group from Still Gay would be Jack, Victor, and Winston.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that would be a good matchup.
Yes. Much like my dream roast battle matchup of Anthony Jeselnik and Jimmy Carr.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Yeah, that's exactly why I want to do it.
And Jimmy Carr is like a stone cold, hey, that guy right there is a serial killer.
And Anthony Jeselnik
is like a smoking, smoldering, hey, that guy is a serial killer.
Here's the thing. The dynamic.
If he would look you in the eye, it would unsettle you to your toes.
Wait, you talking about Carr?
Jeselnik.
I was about to say.
Oh, well, Jimmy Carr, I mean, that goes without saying.
Sure.
You see a guy like that and just completely turn and get the other direction.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
shoot.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not completely sure if we spoke about this on the podcast. We probably did, but
probably.
But here's the thing. You basically a matchup between Jimmy Carr and Anthony Jeselnik is basically sending it's like sending a Hannibal Lecter-esque serial killer after a Bond villain. that is how they operate.
A clever Bond villain.
Yeah, like the man with the golden gun. That was always my favorite.
Yes. Mostly
because it was Christopher Lee, but screw it, I like that guy.
He can only operate a particular way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's official. Like Man with the Golden Gun is my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Harrison Ford is kind of, well, he's a little more advanced than Kevin Costner. They're basically the same character in every movie. They're themselves.
Yeah, except...
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so... Well, but here's the thing. Harrison Ford at least tries? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You know, I'm not trying to make a dig at Kevin Costner. I'm just saying that if they're, you know, in terms of actors that play basically themselves in every movie...
Yes.
Harrison Ford at least tries to shake it up.
Yeah.
You know, I think the primary movie where Harrison Ford is like not acting, they basically just gave him a script and told him to read it as best as he could. Like they gave him a character name, they gave him the character a backstory, I'm assuming, but it's like, dude, just be you. Just read this and just be you.
They just shove him out.
They just shove him in front of a camera with a script and just make it sound nice.
Now that you mention it, that might be a key to his longevity.
Probably. But the primary movie that I personally believe where he is like super duper not acting in the least bit is probably when he's in the Expendables 3.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. He's
like an annoyed tie.
Yeah, he's like an annoyed suit. And here's the thing. Harrison Ford knows how to pilot stuff. Like, he's not an airplane pilot specifically. He knows how to fly whatever.
He's got a pilot's license out here.
Yeah. And in the Expendables 3, when you see him in the helicopter... That's not a soundstage. He's in the helicopter.
Yeah, he's flying it.
Yeah, he's flying the helicopter. That's not fake. That's him. And therefore, that's why I think that the Expendables 3 is the most Harrison Ford of the Harrison Ford roles, because he's in a helicopter.
His hair looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks pretty good for someone who's like, what, is he 80 or something?
I don't know, 112.
Yeah. He probably lived to be 112.
Probably.
But yeah, Kevin Costner, I honestly can't think of a Kevin Costner movie where he's not doing this even keel look, this kind of monotone-esque voice, very serious, very measured.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not trying to make a dig at him. I'm just saying, like,
no.
Can you act with passion? Like, just do something.
He's excited.
This calculated, very monotone, measured look, it can only carry you so far, but, you know, what do I know?
Really?
I don't know.
He figured out how to make it work.
That's why I'm not trying to make a dig at him. Like, no disrespect, because he made it work for him. Like Keanu Reeves, who... in my opinion, didn't figure out how to act until John Wick. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Again, no disrespect to Keanu Reeves. According to what I've heard, he has had some really bad things happen
pretty
to him.
much everything until he hit John Wick was a...
I mean, there was The Matrix.
Alternate version of Bill and Ted. You know, like
no.
That. Yeah.
No.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, God.
Kinda like
excellent.
Kind of like, well, you know, a subdued version of it, maybe.
Okay. I'm trying to cycle back. I'm trying to cycle back through what I've seen in a minute. Okay, Bill and Ted 1 and 2, and eventually 3, but we'll get to that. Yeah. Technically, that doesn't count because that's after John Wick, so he managed to go to some classes.
3? No, 3 doesn't count.
I mean, it does count, but it doesn't count in this context. Let's see, Bill and Ted 1 and 3, or 1 and 2.
I'm just saying that's his default.
Let's see, Point Break. What was the bomb on the bus movie? You know what I'm talking about? What was it? What's that name?
Yes, and the fact that it doesn't jump immediately to my mind is frustrating.
Yeah, because it had Dennis Hopper in it.
Forced to watch it for many, many times.
Yeah.
Speed.
Yeah. Hey, I liked it. I don't want to watch it on repeat.
Speed 1, bus. Speed 2.
It was like a cruise ship. Which is dumber.
Speed 3, Greyhound bus. Really?
Did they actually make a Speed 3?
No, you know what?
Honestly, if they were going to make a Speed 3, they need to do an airplane.
Probably.
Think about it. Here's the thing. Here's
No. An airplane?
Yes. No. Here's the thing. That raises the
cab or something.
No. Here's the thing. An airplane would raise the stakes because here's the thing. Speed 1, they're on a bus. Yeah. You can.
Human lives don't matter.
Yeah. Whatever. You could, theoretically, you could get off of the bus, and they eventually did get people off of the bus.
Plane.
Cruise ship. And the second one is like a cruise ship. You can jump in the water. It's not like in the northern Arctics.
Of course, the fall will kill you.
Yeah, the fall would probably kill you, but that's why you straighten your legs out.
Yeah.
You just put on a life preserver, just jump.
Your ears.
But here's the thing. But an airplane, you can't get off of an airplane.
No, you can't get off of an airplane.
No, you can't.
You never know. That might be a dynamic that draws people to it, because the whole time with the bus and the ship, everybody's going, "Why don't you just jump off?"
You can't jump off a plane.
Can't jump off a plane.
You can, but you can't.
That immediately takes that plausible escape route away.
Yes.
Man, people might not enjoy that as much. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, a certain type of movie junkie can really get off on the whole, like, there is literally no logical escape. This is kind of why I believe that certain movies may have the characters make dumb decisions or ignore dumb decisions, like, I don't know, like you're being chased around you're being chased out of the cabin in the woods, not the movie per se, but basically, like, there's a car. Get in the car and drive away. The running car.
Really, just get in the running car.
No, let's hide behind the wall of chainsaws.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, and it's like, I think those are put in there purposefully, because here's the thing. Escapism is kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you push the same image too much, it becomes a joke.
No. That's not what I mean, but you are correct.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Escapism, it allows you to close your mind off and get enveloped in a world that is not your own.
Absolutely.
Preferably. And you just kind of turn your brain off and you get lost in it. But here's the thing. Sometimes that can be therapeutic.
Absolutely.
But here's the other thing.
Yeah.
What I mean by double-edged sword is if there is a... one of my favorite examples of this is there is a Japanese movie. They eventually made an American version, which is, inferior. No surprise. There's a Japanese horror movie called, I think it's called, it's like Last Missed Call or Missed Last Call, or it's basically the plot is that there's these people somewhere in Japan. I'm just going to assume Tokyo.
You said it was an American remake?
There was an American remake.
What was the name of the American remake?
Missed Call or something like that. I don't know.
Call.
Something like that. The title is roughly Missed Call, Last Call, or something like that. Right. But the plot is that in the original Japanese version, there are these people who they get a call from like an unknown number or a blocked number, and when they answer it, they hear the last sound that they make before they die. And then, like 5 minutes later, they die.
Do they realize that immediately?
Oh yeah, they realize
they can tell it's their voice.
Yeah, they know it's their voice, but they're like, but they're like screaming, or they're taking a huge gasp, or a form of death throttle.
Well, that's kind of hard for an audience to swallow straight out the bat, and you don't know where it comes from.
No. It makes more sense when you watch it. Trust me, it's really good. But here's the thing: in this movie, it. Most people are like, it's like, in the Last Call or Missed Call, whatever it's called, it's, it's, the people go like, hey, there's something, we need to call the cops. They call the cops.
Yeah.
And these things keep happening. It's like, we need to get a priest. They get a priest. And nothing happens. We need to, then they go, we need to get cameras. We need to get news people. They get cameras. They need to get news people. They get people who take them seriously. But whatever force is killing these characters, it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
The phone keeps ringing. They keep hearing somebody, one of them probably.
Yeah.
And then they still die.
So it's like a trail.
Yeah, it's a trail, sort of. Yeah. But here's the thing. When movies do stuff like that, when they completely cover all of the logical routes, like there's no point of exit.
Right.
It can not only stress out the characters because they're doing everything humanly possible to hopefully prevent this horrible thing to happen, but it also stresses out the viewer. It's kind of in the same vein of don't kill the animals.
There has to be
it causes all of this stress.
If you create a situation of hopelessness.
Yeah, hopelessness.
Even in people, and people can definitely relate to hopelessness. They don't want to.
Exactly.
So
that's what I mean.
Someone has paid, or someone is engaged in the act of being entertained. Hopelessness, I would imagine,
is not their prerogative.
Something people don't prefer.
Yeah. It's basically it's kind of why I personally believe that when people when there's plot holes, there's like, oh, why didn't they call the cops when they should have? It kind of allows the viewer to kind of headcanon and logic their way out of, oh, if I was in that situation, I would have called the police and nothing bad would have happened. But if you cut all that off, like you don't allow for that type of thinking to take place.
Right.
It just freaks you out.
Yeah,
you just keep going like, oh, Jesus.
People don't enjoy it.
Yeah, hence the sense of hopelessness.
Right, there is a percentage of the population, as with anything, that would enjoy that type of stimulation.
Not the mainstream.
Definitely not the mainstream. And I think that's where they mess up when they try to throw this broad net for profitability.
Yeah.
Then they miss out on that particular dynamic. They're like, ooh, this is so good. Ooh, it's so ruthless. Ooh, it's so bad. People that like this type of genre, they'll really enjoy. No, you got to give people a way out. It doesn't even have to be plausible.
No.
You're
something.
Like, if you could cut your leg off, you could fit down through this shaft and get away from the person who's trying to kill you. No, people, I see that. There's a loss of relatability there. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my theory behind certain plot holes. Not all of them.
Not all of them.
But I feel like some are purposefully put in. Just my observation.
Other than the plot hole where the director's cut has been cut down to, what they show in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Where they can remove, specific pieces and completely change how the story.
Yeah, much like Blade Runner,
carries.
The Professional.
Yeah.
Which I've yet to see the director's cut, which I need to.
It'll blow you out of the water.
Oh, it will. I know. I'm trying to think. A lot of Ridley, and again, I probably talked about this. I'm not sure. Some of these conversations, it's hard to separate what we've talked about in real life versus on the podcast. So if I repeat myself, I'm sorry, dear listeners.
That's right. And if you've heard it before, that means you've heard it the second time, and that means you are enjoying what is going on here. You're welcome. Anyway, next.
But the whole thing with director's cut, and in my opinion, there's just some people that if you leave them alone, they will give you a good movie. My favorite example is always Ridley Scott and the movie The Kingdom of Heaven. Now, the theatrical release of The Kingdom of Heaven is high-quality garbage. It looks good.
Yeah, that's my end of the spectrum right there. I've never seen the full cut of that movie either.
I have. It makes a world of difference.
It has to, because what I saw was lacking.
Yeah, it was garbage.
Too.
It looks good. Acting's good, but you just keep looking at it and going, what is going on?
Yeah, what's going on here?
I mean, you get the general plot, but the little itty bitty details. It's like Liam Neeson shows up out of nowhere and gets Orlando Bloom to come to the Holy Land for one of the however many crusades there've been. I don't remember how many crusades there've been.
I don't either.
And then the Crusaders and the Templars fight the Caesarian hordes or whatever they were called at the historical point in time, and that's kind of it. And it kind of peters out, sort of.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of going,
and there was no theme at all. I mean, not really. Like, hey, I mean, what are you guys trying? Whatever they did, it completely defanged it. I'm not saying it should have been a pro Christian movie or a pro Muslim movie. I'm not saying it should have been a pro Middle East movie or a pro
war movie,
pro Western Europe movie.
But there was
it landed completely flat.
Yeah, there was just nothing.
There was nothing.
It was the theatrical cut almost seemed like kind of it almost took a very neutral stance to the whole thing to a degree.
There was no closure.
Not really, because
I mean, you got to come down somewhere, okay? You talking?
It almost had a documentary-esque feel to it, a very neutral documentary feel to it.
Very unprofessional documentary feel to it.
Oh, very unprofessional.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, because, there's like the final battle takes place, but Orlando Bloom is like, okay, I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
It's like, why did we need that guy?
This is my money. Make me happy or make me sad.
But don't make me bored.
Don't make me bored, and don't make me look around and go, what
just happened?
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Let me love it or let me hate it. That's it.
Let me feel.
Yeah, let me feel.
The worst thing
I'd rather walk out of a movie. Tell you something about the whole,
yes.
Blair Witch.
Oh, Jesus.
Man, I was ready to burn that theater down. I was in the theater the first weekend it came out. It was a Friday evening I was in Bakersfield, California, on a job assignment. And when that thing ended, I literally yelled, "I'm burning this place down. Who's with me?" Bakersfield, California.
You yelled into a theater that you're going to burn the theater to the ground.
Can't yell fire in a theater.
You can't yell fire in a theater, but you can threaten to burn it down, apparently.
I did threaten to burn the place down and asked who's with me. No, I wasn't serious, but I was very upset.
Oh, yeah.
But, leave me loving it or leave me hating it. Don't leave me confused. And, I mean, is that wrong?
No, here's the thing. I would rather watch the worst movie ever created and go, man, that was garbage. Then watch then watch the best movie ever made and go, that was a complete waste of an hour and a half.
Everybody's got a top 10. Everybody's got a bottom 10.
Like,
if you think you've watched the worst movie in the world,
yeah, guess what?
And then you watch the worst movie in the world, you've got a new bottom 10.
Yeah.
And, that in itself is a productive interaction.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think you could find satisfaction in going, well, I just thought I'd seen the worst movie ever made. This one is worse than the worst movie I've ever made. So... There you go.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
You walk out of a theater completely like, what? I don't.
What? Well, here's the thing. My whole stance is, in terms of the worst movie ever made, I don't think The Room is the worst movie ever made, but I would rather watch The Room like 500 times than watch After Earth once.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of
After Earth was boring.
Yeah, don't bore me.
Don't bore your audience.
Don't bore me. Okay.
If you're gonna make something that's bad, just own up to it.
Yeah, freaking grab it with both hands.
Yeah, because if you make something boring, then you just wasted everyone's time, including your own. Because here's the thing: even bad movies eventually get cult status on the internet. But if it's boring, you get nothing.
And it's just like this. You will find your audience sooner or later. It just depends on whatever it is you are producing based on the number of people that come into contact with it.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of numbers. That's all it is.
You don't have to be you don't have to be good. You just have to be memorable.
Yeah, somebody will enjoy what you do if you give them something to enjoy. But that was, I don't know.
After Earth was a travesty.
Yeah, it was pretty much a travesty.
I don't understand, and honestly, it makes me wonder, was M. Night Shyamalan always like that, but because of studio interference?
I don't think it had anything to do with him.
No, honestly. It has to be.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
He was hired specifically for that movie.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a vehicle.
If you think of all the names that were involved in that movie, who has the most pull?
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Well, I'm just saying that. Here's the thing: After Earth was supposed to be a vehicle for the son, Jaden. Yeah, Jaden.
Something like that.
And it was supposed to be a vehicle for him, but it just killed whatever possible career he might have had.
Well, I think it had a lot to do with there were some particular presentations that he was putting out in social media at the time. You have to give, if you're going to play a particular character, you have to give, if you're involved, if you are, here's the thing. Some people are talented enough to carry off whatever it is they're involved in. Some people need a little extra help. So that little extra help sometimes, I don't know, this is just a theory of mine. You need to put the possibility that you are this type of person out into space, so people can pick up on it. So the role that he was playing in this After Earth was a little more alpha than he was presenting in his social marketing of his persona. I don't know. I mean, it just.
I felt like I'm not mad at the Will Smith or Jaden Smith for attempting to make some sort of movie vehicle for his son. I'm not mad. That's not what.
I mean, if I was involved in that sort of thing, I'd drag my. I would introduce it to my children as well.
Yeah, I don't personally have a problem with that aspect of it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, could you have picked something a little bit more simpler? Because the type of concept of that movie being thrown at you,
that's
it was a little too complex, and I think that
you already had to accept an alternate reality.
You had to accept an alternate reality, a sci-fi alternate reality. You had to accept that there were these monsters that
and let's go
hunted humans.
Let's go ahead and say it. You had the lead as a non-traditional, leading individual,
which.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying there's only...
He was very non-traditional.
It cuts down on the circle of people who would immediately relate to that and go, oh, I'm going to go see that.
Yes, because unfortunately that is how a lot of decisions are made in Hollywood, is cast the widest net.
There's people in the industry that I don't personally care for. I've heard terrible things about, but when they're in front of a camera, they're great actors. Tours, which technically covers male and female, and whatever.
Yeah, whatever. There's a reason why certain types of people get leading roles, is because it casts the widest net.
I mean,
as you know, controversial as that opinion is.
There are people that are great actors that I haven't read one person have anything positive to say about them.
But they're good actors.
So that's all. It's like your surgeon.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're getting your heart operated on, you don't care that the person comes in. I mean, it'd be nice if they came in there and they were relatable and had good bedside manner. But what would you and if they were a mediocre surgeon?
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people may prefer, but if you want to live... So
it's either bad bedside manner, but really good surgeon.
You would take that, godly skill versus an asshole when they're in the room any day. I think I think the majority of people would make that decision.
I get you.
Because I think that way.
I get you. That makes sense. I just think that they should have done something way more simple, slowly built the kid up.
Yeah.
Because that movie was way too much for him.
Quantum leap for him to make.
Yeah, that was
what did he go from, like Karate Kid to that?
Karate Kid, a couple movies in between that I don't remember, and then that. And it's like, hey, sure. Hey, slow your roll. You're not, if you're trying to make your kid an overnight sensation, this is not the way to do it.
No.
You know.
That must be interesting.
Yeah.
Daddy loves you, so I bought you a hamburger on the way home from work versus, hey, I got you the leading role in a $50 million production.
Yeah. honestly and truly, the only thing that makes me kind of squint at that whole After Earth situation of them trying to get Jaden out there as an actor. At first you kind of go, okay, his dad's an actor. He's just, showing him how to act.
Yeah.
Because that's, lawyers teach their kids how to lawyer,
Yeah, business owners have kids and they eventually become business owners because they know how to run a business.
Because that's what they know.
Because that's what they know.
There's no shame in that.
No shame in that, absolutely.
If you know how to work on cars, teach your kid how to work on cars. Because it's useful.
Whatever it is, parent, whatever it is, teach it to your children.
Yes.
They like it or not. Teach it to them.
And
They'll
even
appreciate you one day for it.
Yeah, and even if they don't use it as their job, they might pull that out of their back pocket.
You never know when their children might.
Exactly. Exactly. So, the only thing that makes me kind of go, I think this was way more calculated than it needed to be, was the fact that around the same time as After Earth, the youngest daughter was practically handed a singing career at the ripe old age of 9.
Yeah.
Which made me go, oh, something is up.
What if I was to say that a lot of that was based on people who were stalking the original parents anyway? Oh my God, they're so great. Did you see what their kid did?
That whole thing.
I don't know how to get away from that.
Yeah, that whole thing just rubbed me the wrong way.
Because if that kid was really any good, wouldn't we know that kid's name to this day?
Yeah, exactly. I think I remember hearing something about I don't know, something about the quote unquote official reason that that kid stopped being a singer was because she wanted to just be a kid.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't want to just grow up to be a singer, like, professionally or otherwise. She just wanted to have a childhood. And I'm like, okay, that is extraordinarily dysfunctional in a way that I don't want to comprehend.
Well, see, that's exactly something that a parent would say.
Yeah.
That our child wants to be a child. How does your child know what a child is supposed to act like if they're a child? Because
how do you know?
They were catching a lot of flack over their relationship, and I think they were pushing their kids out into the world.
Yeah, a little too soon.
Well, just to cover for their whatever it is they were going through. They were catching a lot of. I mean, who cares?
I don't know. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? But apparently, there's enough people. Imagine that. Imagine being in a situation. There's a professional basketball player and a very good actress right now, and having a situation with their child that are involved in a really dysfunctional situation, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all because they're involved in public perception and public opinion. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, do you want to spend your whole life reading about celebrities' lives, or do you want to actually go out there and, like, I don't know, fight off bears?
Yeah, exactly. Stop reading about what other people are doing and go do stuff.
Yeah, go do stuff.
Do something.
This is basically what we're trying to do.
Exactly.
Not to toot our own horn, but we basically just, in the middle of quarantine, we're just looking at each other going, I'm tired of the dysfunctional idiot on the TV. I'm tired of looking at people who know how to act, but they're like hardcore, like dysfunctionally hardcore drinkers, or they're just putting all the drugs in their eyeballs, or all of the other heinous things that happen in Hollywood.
Yeah, go do something.
Go do something.
I mean, whatever it is, listen to us along the way, because we'll always encourage you. But
yeah.
Hey.
I mean, it's going to be kind of that, it definitely is going to be, I don't want to say backhanded encouragement, but kind of like...
No, get up and go do something.
Yeah, I kind of want to say that we kind of operate on a similar basis as Red Foreman from That 70s Show, where we're jerks.
Yeah,
let's face it.
Yeah.
To most people, we're jerks.
Yeah.
But when the chips are down, we're not going to leave you in the dirt.
You're going to be knocking on my door before I knock on your door, brother. That's all I'm going to tell you right now.
Exactly.
And get up, go do something, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Because lethargy is death.
Yeah. Which unfortunately is kind of the anthem of the year. So.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Lethargy, famine. Can't remember. Is that the third horse of the apocalypse?
Let's see. There's war.
There's war,
death,
and there's death.
Sickness,
and
then famine.
Famine.
I want to say e-thoughts are in there somewhere, but whatever. That's just my personal opinion.
There's Steve Jobs.
I give Steve Jobs a lot of respect, but the way he treated his death was just stupid.
It was not.
I'm not one of these hardcore Apple worshippers.
No.
In case you can't tell from the audio quality.
No.
You freaking hipsters. You hipsters that aren't really hipsters because you're buying products that everybody in the whole freaking world uses, but whatever.
Whatever.
I don't know. What is it? He got, a form of cancer, and instead of, look, I don't sneeze at Eastern medicine at all. I think, parts of it has placement. At least it's better than, Big Pharma trying to shove a bunch of synthetic somethings down your throat.
Some things.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's not even medicine. It's basically an experiment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Compound X.
Yeah, Compound X.
Ooh, now that the beer flu vaccine's here. Good heavens.
Talk about some sort of X-Files level of experiment on the population. Look, we're not anti-vaxxers.
Nope.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify.
But me personally, when it comes to
definitely, I don't prefer the first generation.
Correct.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, the first generation.
The first generation of any vaccine.
Yes. Because they hadn't worked all the kinks out.
They got to work all the bugs out of it.
Yeah, that's my whole stance is
that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I would love to take the beer flu vaccine. I would not mind one bit.
No.
They could come to my house. I would gladly get it. Not the first round, though.
Not the first round.
I would rather wait till version 2.0, 2.5, 3.0.
2. Something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
unrealistic.
Not unrealistic.
Nope.
We'll do it, but we're not alpha testers. We're not beta testers. No. You know more than anybody.
It is common sense. If you go onto a car lot and buy a car, the very first year of the very first model of a particular specific model, other than something that's already well established and trusted, any new model the first year there is a higher
there's going to be something.
There's always, statistically, the probability of, in my opinion, there's always some kinks that need to be worked out. Absolutely.
I'll give you another example. This is for the people
But do what you got to do, people.
Oh, yeah. Do what you got to do. I'll give you another example of what we're talking about. For the people who play video games, the people, imagine all of the people who have rushed out and gotten the most recent versions of all the consoles.
That's great. I love that analogy.
What?
People that run out and spend money on games that are crap.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Exactly.
And tell you what is and is not crap. Well, debatably so.
Sure.
But, personal preference. But here's the thing: people who run out and get the first versions of all the consoles, they're wasting their money, because in about a year and a half's time, if even that, they're going to come out with the Play Box .2, and it's smaller or has better memory or has better graphics or doesn't have any of the problems the first generation has. That's the version that you want.
Right.
Because it has less problems, because they had feedback from the initial buyers.
Right.
Then they went back to the drawing board and went, okay, how can we take this magical video game box and make it better.
Absolutely.
And then they release the second version, and that's the one you want.
See,
that is how we look at this beer flu thing.
That's exactly common sense. There is nothing political about that.
Nope.
There's nothing cultural or social about that.
Nope.
It is purely practical. Anybody would see the logic in that understanding.
Yeah, we're not Karens or Kevins.
Karen.
we ain't Karens.
I've met so many Karens in my life.
Oh, I bet you have a couple stories. I bet you have some stories that go beyond just, I want to speak to your manager, too, being in the medical field.
I always enjoyed when I was the boss to be able to tell them, I want to talk to the boss. No, you're talking to him.
Oh, okay.
The answer's still no, now get out.
Yeah, and the best part is you had access to security, so you could feasibly have them thrown out.
I did, on numerous occasions.
What is it? What was the one where you told me about some guy came in and she was it was like a couple, husband and wife or something like that. It doesn't look good, but he's like heavy breathing or something, and she's screaming that he's having a heart attack, and you look at him, up and down. And then you go, and in your mind you're thinking like he's having a panic attack or something. Not an actual heart attack.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. There's a difference between a panic attack and a heart attack. Heart attack, you need help now. Panic attack, there is a procedure, but it's not exactly, get them on the OR right, or in the OR right now.
No, I was working in an ER in Oakland, California.
Oh, okay.
Oakland, California.
Ugh.
And
rough city.
This lady, mid-40s, husband mid-40s, still young enough to look good, and old enough to where I could tell if they didn't stop partying, they were going to turn the corner soon. Came in, drug him in, screaming he's having a stroke.
Oh,
he's having a stroke, and he's definitely having some type of episode. And,
but it wasn't a stroke.
And I said to her, I was trying to reassure her. We are trained to reassure people first. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll harangue you, unless you catch an ER nurse at the end of their shift. And I said, ma'am, it's okay. I'm going to take you in the back. I said, he's not having a stroke. And then she just turned on me. I mean, she went from, oh, help me. She could feel his pain, and she was dying along with him. And,
and then as soon as you said that he's not
having a stroke, man, she just turned and it was like a snake spitting, like a cobra spitting venom at me. She's like, hey, you know that kind of machine. I said, ma'am, because this is what I do for a living. And no, he wasn't having a stroke. He was having a panic attack.
Don't question the ER nurses.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'd seen hundreds of people like him, and that's it's what I did for a living. So that's the way it kind of works out sometimes.
Yeah, if there's definitely one type of medical person. Now there are many, but if there is one type of medical person that not only would I not question, I wouldn't even consider messing with, it's ER nurses.
I would recommend it because you're going to get. Here's the difference. God bless nurses that do ICU, and God bless nurses that do med-surg. It's not my gig. And it's theirs, and that's fantastic. Med-surg nurses are great. They have a tendency to the way med-surg nurses are structured, they are not given access to something called nursing judgment. Nursing judgment is you get there's a certain level of trust that you are given, even though the orders are written by a doctor. They are very specific. You have some gray area as to which way to go. That's nursing judgment. Med-surg nurses are not given nursing judgment, and it handicaps them a little bit. ICU nurses have a tendency, not all of them, they're honestly, the smartest people in the building because they only get one patient at a time, maximum two. They spend a lot of time. Most ICUs, I don't know about how it's set up today, but most ICUs from my working history were literally a library, books involved. literally a library where the ICU nurse could go over to an area near the nursing station. I saw this in a lot of the hospitals I worked in. Where they could go pull medical books out of shelves and study the condition and the diagnosis and those types of things related to what the patient had or what was going on with them. ER nurses are more into intuition. Yes, there are those that know the book front and back, but there are the other side of it is intuition, where you just
because you're just in the thick of it.
You're just in the thick of it. You're in the spirit of it. You have an understanding that goes beyond books. You know, it gives you a lot of information if you have this ability. So the knee-jerk, pop you in the jaw kind of, hey, this is what you need to listen to, without anybody's ego involved, which can be an ICU nurse thing. I have seen.
It's definitely ERs, or the ER nurses.
Is listen to an ER nurse, yes. And I'm not saying they're better or worse. They just, if you want more accurate information, they'll give it to you harder and faster.
Because that's what they do.
Because that's what they do. They won't sugarcoat it. And we'll do our best to soften the blow, but we will tell you exactly what's going on.
Wait, I thought the whole, medical books at someone's access, I thought that was a radiology thing.
No, I mean,
that's what radiology does. Is like they look at X-rays for like 5 days, and then they go, you broke your thingamaboob.
Yeah. No, the radiologist...
Took you 5 days to figure out that I broke this thing?
That's a very extended... It's a lot of money to be a radiologist, but you have to do a lot of radiology school.
Oh, I know you do.
A lot
you
of
basically,
like, you have to do at least twice what you would do for medical school.
No, I know, because you have to know practically everything.
It's like, oh, hey, look, you must have wrecked your tricycle when you were 4. That kind of detail. You're just like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, because you have to know everything.
Yeah. But those guys are stiffs.
Well, if you've been in school for 18 years, of course you're going to be a stiff. Of course you're going to be a
stiff. No, I'm not saying they're jerks or asses or anything.
They're just stiff.
They're just stiffs. I mean, as a rule of thumb.
Yeah, if you want to hang, if there's a medical profession where you can have a hardcore party with, it's the ER nurses too.
Ooh.
Because you can't not.
You don't want to get into that.
Yeah, you don't. Don't want to have to bring up.
You see too much death.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see too much death, and it kind of shapes you a certain way where you.
You have a propensity towards alcohol.
Well, something like that.
Oh, I know there's more to it, but still.
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, this has been a sleigh ride.
Yeah, I know. Hey, it's not Christmas yet.
Yeah, but all right, okay.
Tomorrow.
For all you folks, today is Thanksgiving Day 2020.
Which nobody is happy today.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you something. Here's something that came to me just today.
What do you mean?
In this realm of the national mindset and narrative to be progressive. Traditional...
You take it easy.
Traditional dynamics are making a comeback because people are seeking normalcy.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So what's normal for the last Thursday in November?
Thanksgiving.
So people are really embracing the idea of Thanksgiving because that traditional holiday gives them a sense of normalcy. And now, what's today? The 26th?
26th.
So in 24 days, we have another traditional
Christmas
holiday.
Christmas. Yeah.
And people are going to cling to it.
Yeah.
Socially, culturally.
You know what I've noticed?
Yeah.
I've actually... Now this is just personally. It might differ for you or other people, but I legitimately haven't seen that many Christmas ads this year.
No.
Like in years past, you could not escape it as soon as you got into October. It would just be wall to wall.
I think it's all online now.
But even still, I haven't barely seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's like the occasional Christmas ad from like Macy's who are just clinging to life at this particular recording.
Might be a lot of places out of business is why you don't get as many ads.
That also might be part of it. That might be also part of it. I didn't think about that. But still, I'm just thinking like, okay, is part of it, you know, the failing businesses, or do you guys just... Are you guys just trying to put a clamp on Christmas as a whole?
No. Well,
which is weird.
You know what? You know, now that you mention it,
mm-hmm.
maybe if they were going to put a clamp on Christmas, the powers that be, if they were going to put a clamp on Christmas, why would they?
Because of tradition?
The nefarious part of it, obviously. But so far as not having large groups of people gather.
True.
That would be a plausible reason for them to de-emphasize Christmas at this time. But I think because people want to return to normalcy, I think people are going to celebrate Christmas.
No, I get people are gonna figure out how to do it. I know that much. But I'm just saying, this whole de-emphasis on having people gather for Christmas it's not gonna turn out that way.
No, it won't.
Because here's the thing. On the one hand, whether you like it or not, Christmas is a huge capitalist dream.
Well,
sales, profit.
A non-dry capitalist dream.
Exactly. It is the year where you just make bank if you are a business. So from that standpoint, Christmas can never go away.
True, it will never go away.
You would have to completely disassemble any sort of capitalistic, democratic republics in order to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to go away. It may change form, but at its core, it's not going to go away.
Nope.
And on the other hand, it's like people are going to figure out how to gather. You know,
True.
People will sit out on the deck.
I'm just saying that people are
outside.
People are going to embrace these more traditional perspectives.
They'll definitely do it in the coming years. I will say that.
Yes.
Because how can you not?
How can you not? And I've had a theory about holidays for a long time. I've always felt that holidays, the underlying motive for most holidays is to get people to the next one on the calendar.
That's fair. Just help people through.
You know, there is a large percentage of people, especially in their 20s and 30s and early 40s.
Yeah.
From the age of 15 to 45, definitely. Hey, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's Valentine's Day. Ooh, it's New Year's Day. You know, things like that. They hop from one tradition to the next.
New Year's Eve is going to be crazy.
It gets a lot of people through that tradition.
New Year. I'm just going to tell you right now. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, people are going to go insane.
It's going to be off the chain.
Yeah, it is going to be.
Can we live stream?
What?
Can we do this in live stream?
We could, but we really don't have an audience at this particular point in time.
Who cares?
You sure?
I don't know. New Year's Day.
I don't even know if I'm going to be off on that day.
Whatever.
Yeah, I still have a job.
Yeah, me too.
Like we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast.
I'm not going to apologize for it.
No, I ain't going to apologize for it either. I'm just like, dude.
And, God bless those who don't and having trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not trying to mock anybody.
God bless them and keep them. Absolutely.
I mean, we'll mock some people, but not you.
Yeah, not you.
No, because it ain't fair to you and your family and your friends or anybody. You didn't ask for this. No. Yeah. Are we? Yeah. I don't know. Was this a serious one today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Conversation.
No, I know it's conversation, but I just remember, last podcast we were talking about death, and it's like, I don't know. I guess it's just been on my mind for obvious reasons.
You can't do that every time.
No, you can't do that every time.
Variety.
My knee.
Yeah, you got two of them.
Hey.
You got a spare.
My quads.
Can't apply for workers' comp.
the fuck up. I'm just saying, we need to do, I don't know. I need to keep watching the X-Files so that we can eventually talk about it.
Sure. Because,
I want to talk about the X-Files. I had no clue it was this good. Every time I tuned into it, it was usually a monster of the week.
Yeah.
I never saw anything of the overarching plot between Mulder, Scully, Skinner, and the Smoking Man, and the powers that be.
Yeah.
And I hate the X-Files.
You can do an episode, absolutely.
No, I know, but in the future. I hate the X-Files now. They made me sympathetic towards the Smoking Man.
Have you seen Cerulean Blue?
I don't know what happens. Okay. Why would I know?
You would know.
Oh no.
Cool.
I saw the episode Home, which
that was enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly and truly, watching that show, it made me it unlocked a lot of really deep memories in my brain.
And that's gonna have to work for another time.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm tired. And I'm hungry. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that was it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
Yes. In this 2020 Thanksgiving edition, I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
See ya.
Bye.